Welcome back everybody, DestinysJesus here. In this video I'm going to be breaking down how we were to get top 50 in opens. I know loads of you guys struggle with open qualifiers, especially for trio tournaments, any type of open format like a trio cash cup. So this video hopefully will give you some really good pointers. I wasn't really good in opens, especially in week 1, we didn't even qualify, but now we're getting top 50 and we're actually performing really consistently. So I'm going to give you guys some strategy on how to perform better in these tournaments that are open, and also just in general for trios that will be useful for you guys. As always, make sure to like if you enjoyed and also subscribe if you're new. So after winning our Osborne fight at Lazy, it was pretty simple. We just outdropped the kids and then killed them pretty quickly. This is just our first mid-game fight we got in our very first game. One thing that I think is really important for trio fighting is understand your roles. In fights, I'm not always going to be the most mechanical player, especially because I'm playing with really two cracked controller kids. So all I do is just try to spray with my AR or either get in with my teammates at the same time. These two are way better at box fighting than me, so I play to their strengths and just spray and help them. I get so much damage, I break walls, I act really annoying, and my teammates just get in and get the kills. I just act like the support player in the majority of our mid-game fights. So in our first game, we actually got matched up against a pro trio of Ships, Scully, and Seven Josh. These guys are all really good players, and we knew that just by approaching them in game, and we also see them in the name feed. One thing I'd really recommend, especially when you're fighting good trio, is trying to isolate one of the players. Here's Alok's build fighting one, so we all triple go up at the same time and try to commit it. He's able to get the opening knock, we get the second, and then from here it's a pretty simple 1v3, and because we knew they were pros, we ended up pickaxing them, which is pretty funny. No. One thing I'd really recommend when you're trying to W key is always running snipers. I'm actually terrible with snipers, but my teammates are actually pretty good. There they get a double snipe open on somebody as we're just chasing them mid game. You can see still 36 left at this point. It's quite a stacked game, but all we're doing is just running around. I'm trying to let my teammates go for opening snipes as we're W keying, and this results in so many opportunities like this. He gets the opening snipe knock on somebody peeking at us, and then we all just commit in at the same time and jump into the box. Easy wipes, all just go in at the same time with shotguns, and then from there it's pretty simple. Right here again, my teammate gets a snipe as we approach this box. It's how beneficial just having a teammate that's good at sniping. You can open any fight in the 2v3, and as soon as you get that 2v3 advantage, don't be scared to commit in all at the same time. Here my teammate gets knocked, but it's all good because we all just jump in at the exact same time. They're trying to trade races and we get all of those elims right there. It's so simple to wipe a full trio, especially in the first lobby, if you commit in at the same time. So this is the end of our first game after I got this couple of kills. One thing I think is really important in the first game is just trying to prioritize getting at least top 2 or top 3. You're not always going to be guaranteed to win the first game, especially if in this situation there's only 2 of you alive, but we still managed to get really good placement this game and get like nearly a 50-point game just because we got that top 2 in a second. The reason we were able to secure this is the fact that we actually realized we had floppers, so that's how we were going to play for it. Use the majority of our mats, height is spamming us over and over, make sure we wipe out the remainder of the players on low ground like we just did here, and then from there we can just get top 2 pretty simply.
Nice, top 2, yeah, it's fine.
Just quick, if any of you guys aren't actually following me over on Twitch, make sure to go and follow me. I'm going to be streaming loads more of these FNCS videos and any more scrims that we actually do play. I'm also doing trio review of VODs every single day this week pretty much, and we've also been doing some VODs of top pros that I've been placing really consistently in the moment, as well as all of my FNCS games that I've been streaming live. So make sure to go follow me over there. So when it comes to first moving, this is a strategy that a lot of top EU teams are doing, especially Cammy. He always goes for these kind of second height bouncer rotates where he just spams as many bounces as he can on first moving, even tries to use his bounces on second moving if possible, and then he just goes for a long consistent tarp on second height. I literally just got done videoing you over on my Twitch. Make sure to follow me over there if you guys don't already. And I did this exact strategy in this game. Bounced several times, got on a really good layer, and then just decided to commit in tunneling. So as you can see here, we've got this really long tarp second height, and we're actually looking up over our height and trying to figure out exactly what they're doing. Here we've got in a position where my teammate is a lot more comfortable actually tarping for me, and then from here again we can start looking for height opportunities or edits on different people around us. Again, we use that bouncer on second moving, and here we're trying to get into a position where we're on a high layer. You can see even here I got up an extra whole layer and then start looking at height. Important thing when you're trying to take height manually without an RPG, or without like shockwaves or bouncer plays that used to be in the old season and crash pads especially, is the fact that you need to go at the front side of the zone and then start looking up for it. Here I go to the front, I get this nice beam angle where I able to chop out this other player who's trying to hold it in wood. get the knock on him, and then from there, as soon as you got the knock, we know we've got a 2v3 advantage. We're all healthy, so we all commit up at the same time. From here, it's a really simple high ground win. Just make sure you pressure second height and don't get too greedy going for picks. Make sure second height is getting pressure and there's no chance they're looking up. Also, make sure you monitor RPG and anybody going for potential bouncer height play, and then also just making sure you utilize Harpoon. I've got way better actually making sure I use Harpoon and giving it to my teammates when needed. Right here is really important, especially as you get into ninth zone. A lot of NA pro teams do this at earlier points, but as soon as you get into ninth zone and you hear that final klaxon go, make sure you start thinking about your heal off. What options do you have, whether you're a mid ground, low ground, or height? What can you do for a heal off, and how much extra placement do you get off this? Because we know Zalok is really good heal off. He's got chug splashes and floppers. We know that we're pretty much safe to go down here and get these kills, and most importantly, interrupt heal off. Right here, we both make the really good call that it's a full team. This means that we have to first of all interrupt that heal off, as I said, and also try to just stop the other two from protecting and going up possibly. This is why we go on the initiative and actually go down and get these edits ahead of these other players and make sure that we interrupt it most importantly, and also stop the other two going up.
Yeah.
I got that edit there, I got that edit there. I got one HP.
I killed one.
Right there, as you can see, I get the guy who's going for heal off 1 HP. He ends up going down a second later. And you see, because we went down, there was no chance they could even go up and think about interrupting our player playing heal off. And that results in a really free win. And this put us into like top 10 elo or something ridiculous after this game. Right here, we're in a really scuffed spawn fight. We've already wiped one team that landed us. And this is why I recommend it's important having a backup spot that you know when you're really comfortable doing. We don't want to keep on wasting games landing at Lazy, which is really contested PO at high elo. Here there was 2 extra teams plus us, and we knew most likely if we would keep going to landing at the spot, we would end up dying. I'm just going to do a quick breakdown of this off spawn fight, talk about our mistakes quickly. Mainly the mistake that we made this fight is the fact that we didn't stay grouped enough. You can see here we're just going for a refarm, trying to get in a position where we've got a mass advantage on these other players. We're still quite bad. Shambles HP actually gets tagged up for white, which is pretty scuffed. Right here we realize we have to go for an edit play on this guy. Zalok gets a full box. The most important thing when you have a player full box is to keep him full box. You see I held the back wall there, then forced the code in and we get that elim. At this point I should be making space and we all should be trying to regroup as quick as possible. Instead we're really split with like several boxes between us, and these guys take up edits all around us, which is the big scuff thing that messes us up in a second.
Get me out, bro.
I'm gonna.
Crack for me.
Right here I get the guy cracked. This means Zalok both go down to the same player because our third wasn't near us. And then from here it's just a pretty unfortunate situation where you can't really do much with no mats and 1 HP. Important thing to learn from this though is to actually make sure you have a backup spot in mind. Our backup spot is Logjam and we know it really well and we're very consistent at winning it. This is a small mistake from one of our endgames today. When I was rotating here, you can see I'm on a really good layer. I'm tarping in hard mats. Everything's pretty much going well. And here I just don't place my floor. I don't know what I did, but I think somebody placed a cone. And I just randomly fell through my floor and I get dropped down. Important thing whenever you have a situation like this and one of your players dies is the other two don't go for the trade res. They just need to play as a duo for as long as possible. My teammates were able to cut so much placement out here just from having really good smart players with me calling for them. I'll let it play.
No, just play together. It might double back, bro. It might double back. Just stay together. Double back. Go through top.
Look at me. Not much more. Follow me. Zalo. What is this? Get me, Zalo, get me. We need to rotate.
Stay together. Just park on me, please.
Oh, come down. Yeah, come down. Alright, return to me.
Keep tapping.
What? Oh no, still.
Keep tapping. It's on the mats. Box. Nice, get that. Not your floor. Down.
I'm dead.
I need to drop out.
Play floppers.
Hey, get me, I'm chilling.
Over.
I'm trying to.
Over, you got metal. Flopper.
Get me, I've got. Mats me, good on me.
Give him a flopper. Actually, pop. Come max metal, bro.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just gonna go. Crack the bobbers.
In my
Keep
box.
tapping. Full top. Give him a flopper if you can. Give him a flopper and leg.
Alright, yeah. I'm in. Fuck.
You're iced. It's going left.
Yeah,
Need to cut in.
Wait.
Got maybe.
The box! No, come right. Follow me.
That's good.
Yeah, I have like 150 split wood.
Stick together, just stick together and keep
I've
tapping.
been up again. I'm on low. Get to me, mate. Get to
You're
me,
good,
mate.
you're good. Hold this there. Get forward of it, look, Maxi.
Come.
Nice.
We have charges, we can just hold. Come to me. Look in it. On my marker.
I'm holding charge.
It's going your way, boys. To your left. Nice. Axie, keep topping. Axie, top.
This is just the power of having a charge endgame. If you guys don't know, the charge is probably the best shotgun for endgames, especially when you're trying to kind of clutch up. If somebody's tarping for you and you can always run the charge, this is kind of my setup. Both my teammates take charge and they can just hold angles like this and easily out damage anybody who peeks them.
In our top.
Dead.
Nice. I'm low. Go. I'm low.
Hey, flappers.
Top 4. Just play the top 3.
Get top three. Build, you got mats.
Top 3. Try the top 2.
Build.
The tree on a solo. Nice.
See, good bro. Nice. Axie. Hey, Flat. Get that flat.
Oh my god.
He's a beast.
Okay, so this is our final game. We actually needed to clutch up some placement here. We actually needed to just play some points in this game to end up qualifying, and we won it with a load of elims. So I'm going to break down exactly what we did to win this last game. This is really stacked, 45 moving, absolutely worst zone you can play, especially with the mountain zone. It's really horrendous to play, and this is what I recommend. Again, always trying to make sure that you get in a good layer to bounce from first of all, and then spam bounces. Again, I use one bouncer here, go top forward a little bit more, make sure my teammates are safe, and then I commit to a full top. Obviously I could bouncer again here, but my mats are so good, and I can actually get to a positional front side of zone where I can get a free refresh with my teammates. Right here again, this is us looking for these drop down plays, especially when you're playing on a high layer. These drop down plays are really safe. Zone doubles back, so we realized this, that we can actually go for a drop down play on these guys in a second.
Got it.
Oh, I need shotgun up.
I'm good.
I'm jumping. Please go,
Death.
Got the monkey. That sounded bad. I'm up. Can you get a player?
Okay, so right here after getting those refreshes, we're all pretty good mats individually. The one thing that I'd recommend is whenever you get split like this, is trying to stick together as much as possible and then regroup on the one who's furthest forward. So right here again, we're just sticking together, get loads more refreshes on backside of zone just because we're just playing together as a duo, and then we start finally regrouping and actually finding our teammate. We all take over, get in position on zone and then start tarping, cut forward through this old build knowing it's pretty safe to do so, especially in metal. Chopping through old metal like this is a really good play in endgame. Now we get zoned again towards us, and this is where you can potentially start thinking about a win condition. A win condition in trios is either having heal off or having high ground, and then obviously potentially heal off and trying to interrupt them like we did in that last game. So here we're currently just thinking about, our mats are so good we don't necessarily really need a refresh in a second, so I start thinking about the refresh as soon as we get another refresh right here. Get a free knock.
Keep going. Let's go, bro. Let's go hard top.
I've got 2 bounces. Where's high? What's high?
I'm on the
Him.
One free.
Dead. Nice. I think this is height.
I'm on a
Right here my audio is cutting out, but you can see as soon as we realized that was height team dropping down into our box, we realized, okay, this is going to be very free for us. All we need to do is just think about a win condition at high ground. How can we take it? Immediately just bounce it up, and then from here it's a very simple game of just playing and just waiting for the lobby to close out. Set up our heal off, especially because it's night zone, it's where you should start thinking about it. Splashes and floppers pretty much impossible to lose at this point, and all we need to do is go down and try to find the last guy.
Okay, coming up.
Solid build by me. I can't look Jesus on high ground.
Oh, I've hit Matey.
Back.
He's one save.
Hit one.
He's the best, bro. He's a little demon.
Last guy on me.
Yeah, you win.
Oh, no.
I'm just gonna back it.
Like that in a realistic ladder, go on. Stand up, imagine this is realistic, come on.
Yeah, this is one of your realistic ways. He's got a full metal top. Hold him in. He's dead.
He's in a full metal top, hold on. Where is he? I'm dead stone.
Goodbye, Destiny.
Almost.
Wait, Joey, you
But
might
he's
win.
playing heal off, he's the best. He's like playing heal off somewhere.
I win.
Wait, what the fuck?
Get tagged.
I already tagged them. Don't die. Wait, what are you doing?
Mate, your kids could have 9 floppers.
He's got 57 front. It's funny. I'm Mum's life.
It's who?
I mean, or something, bro.
Shoot him. 33.
Right here, all I need to do is just play heal off and we get the win. 172 points, top 15 opens. Really good performance for us, especially considering this is just our first time practicing, I think, since last week. So just to recap this video, this is all our games from today. We had that 25 kills second, again, just trying to get as many W key games as possible and fight as many people in the mid game just through snipers. Then we had an off-spawn death, a game where we actually completely messed up and got barely any points. And then we had a really good 17 kill win at pretty high elo. From there, another game where we died like first moving, which we kind of messed up. Another off-spawn. And at that point, we just decided to commit to our safe drop. We landed at a really safe drop and got a second place. Another end game and we got some good points. And then from there, we got that final win in that really high elo lobby with a load of pros in it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to go follow me over my Twitch. I'm doing loads more of these kind of streams. So I'm streaming FNCS. We also did a Cami City Teak video, which I'm sure you guys will learn from. And that's what we kind of implement the strategies in from the video today. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like if you did. And also subscribe if you're new.